In the stories from ancient Mesopotamia, Marduk is described as an incredibly powerful deity, serving as the supreme leader among the gods. He was responsible for overseeing fairness, the art of healing, and equality in the universe from the very start. The people of Babylon believed that the formidable Marduk was the offspring of Enki, the deity known for his wisdom, and Damkina, the revered mother goddess. Marduk's entrance into the world happened in the mysterious and deep waters of Absa, following his father, Enki's establishment of his reign over the underwater realms. Upon receiving the joyful tidings of becoming a father, Enki was overwhelmed with a sense of pride and happiness, as Marduk was his eagerly awaited first child. This child was not just any ordinary being, but one who was much awaited and held significant promise. On the momentous occasion of Marduk's birth, when Enki finally held his beautiful offspring in his embrace, he was filled with an immense sense of joy. To Enki, his son was a flawless creation, possessing extraordinary abilities that surpassed even his own. Witnessing his heir's overwhelming presence and potential, Enki expressed his admiration and love, acknowledging Marduk's unparalleled greatness. Following his father's acknowledgement, Marduk was anointed. During this ceremony, 50 formidable bolts of lightning gathered above him, glowing fiercely like flames, casting a dark yet divine glow around him. Under his father's guidance, Marduk grew in wisdom and stature. Learning about the vast universe, he became acquainted with all the deities of the heavenly court, demonstrating exceptional intelligence and excellence. As he matured, his divine powers expanded, bringing him closer to his destiny of leading all the gods. Marduk exhibited exceptional control over his magical talents, even as a young god. His abilities blossomed, his essence and senses intensified dramatically. He was reputed to have the wisdom of two individuals, reflecting his unmatched intellect. His vision was incredibly sharp, allowing him to see everything clearly, while his hearing was so sensitive that he could detect every sound across the vast expanse of the cosmos, affirming his status as a flawless and mighty deity. According to one Babylonian interpretation of the creation story, after many generations and significant upheavals carried out by the ruling deities, a fierce conflict and a dreadful rebellion emerged, threatening to annihilate everything. This chaos ensued after the higher gods created their minions, who then rose up against them. This rebellion incited the wrath of the monstrous Tiamat, especially after Enki ended his partner's life, Absu, leading to further turmoil due to the actions of the lesser gods known as the Igwiji. The great goddess Tiamat made a dire decision to bring an end to everything in the universe, including all the deities themselves. This caused immense concern among the other gods, particularly the leaders of the universe such as Enki and Enlil. They were desperate to find a way to either calm Tiamat's anger or to eliminate her completely to stop her from executing her deadly plan. For many years, Tiamat had been preparing for this moment. She had been training her son, Kingu, shaping him into a formidable force of evil. She endowed him with great power, intelligence, and physical strength, but she didn't stop there. She also handed over to him the tablets of destiny. These were no ordinary objects. They held immense divine power. Whoever held these tablets had the authority to govern the entire universe. Once Kingu received these tablets from his mother, he was declared the Prince of all gods, a title that significantly elevated his status and power. Understanding the need for a strong force to back her up, Tiamat took steps to form an army. She created a host of demonic creatures, each more terrifying and ruthless than the last. These beings were dedicated to supporting her dark ambitions. Meanwhile, Kingu didn't sit idle. He started to gather allies among the gods, aiming to bolster his strength for the impending colossal battle. His actions caused significant unrest and chaos across the cosmos, shaking the very foundations of the celestial hierarchy. The threat posed by Tiamat was so severe that it sent waves of fear through the entire pantheon of gods. She had orchestrated a complex and wicked scheme aimed at obliterating everything that existed. The gods were left in a state of despair, scrambling to find someone brave enough to confront Tiamat. Her raw power and fierce temper made her a daunting adversary. Coupled with her nearly invincible army, she seemed unstoppable. In the middle of this atmosphere of dread, a new hope emerged from an unexpected quarter. Marduk, a younger deity, stepped forward with a bold declaration. He proclaimed his readiness to confront the formidable Tiamat. This was no small offer. Marduk was presenting himself as the primary challenger to a goddess whose power was legendary. However, he had a specific condition that needed to be met for him to go through with this perilous challenge. Marduk demanded that the other gods invest him with their powers and abilities to enhance his own strength and wisdom. Enki, witnessing his son's bravery, was the first to endorse Marduk's proposal. Recognizing the exceptional qualities in his offspring, he saw no alternative but to support him. Following Enki's lead, the rest of the celestial beings came together, throwing their support behind the courageous young god. As Marduk felt the overwhelming support from the assembly of gods, he seized the moment to make an additional demand. He asked not only for their powers, but also for their acknowledgement of him as the eternal sovereign and ruler of all gods. This request was not made lightly. Marduk knew that if he were to risk his life to save the cosmos, his position as the supreme leader should be assured. He firmly stated that this recognition was a non-negotiable condition for him to engage in battle with Tiamat and to ensure her demise. This was Marduk's strategic move to secure his ascent to the throne of the gods, underlining his determination and the seriousness of the situation. In the middle of their terrifying and desperate situation, all the gods agreed to grant supreme authority to Marduk. This was so he could confront the fearsome goddess and end the oppressive turmoil. Sequentially, each deity provided Marduk with additional powers. Following this ceremonial enhancement, it was noted that he appeared to grow in stature, transforming into a towering and mightier deity. Consequently, Marduk set out to confront Tiamat and her ominous forces, who were simultaneously advancing towards the divine temple to initiate conflict. With a scream that echoed from the underworld, he wielded his formidable net, bow, arrows, and sword, encapsulating himself with bright, menacing lightning and tumultuous winds, marking the commencement of their battle. Enki's eldest son was not only immense in stature, but also deeply strategic and sly, fully recognizing the necessity to first eradicate the protective army of the daunting goddess. He launched himself into action swiftly, leveraging his superior combat skills to obliterate them swiftly. The vast majority fell during this initial onslaught, though Prince Kingu remained, leading a diminished band of demons. To efficiently deal with this threat, Marduk employed his enchanted net, capturing them swiftly and consigning them to eternal confinement to await judgment post-battle. While subduing the demons, he also managed to seize the tablets of destiny from Kingu, thereby cementing his dominance. As Marduk combated these fiends, Tiamat wreaked havoc, decimating numerous deities, including many of the Igigi, spreading alarm and despair across the cosmos as no sanctuary seemed safe from the enraged entities. Once the demonic legion was dispatched, Tiamat found herself isolated. Marduk, swift as the storm, charged at her. The monstrous goddess countered fiercely, conjuring massive cyclones and agitating the vast ancient ocean in her desperate efforts to vanquish Marduk. Nevertheless, after an intense battle showcasing his strategic ingenuity and might, Marduk triumphed, using his divine sword to cleave Tiamat into two. With the battle won, the sovereign deity's countenance was marked by a gratified pride as he anticipated ascending to the universal throne. The defeat of Tiamat led the other gods to celebrate the significant victory, welcoming the reign of their new ruler under the agreed terms. The victorious deity then utilized the lifeless form of the goddess to craft the world, shaping the heavens and the earth from her divided corpus. The sources of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers were believed to spring from the eyes of Tiamat, while her immense tail purportedly fashioned the Milky Way. Enki, witnessing the bravery and triumph of his progeny, was filled with pride, endorsing his son's creations and leadership, offering unyielding support. However, tranquility was short-lived as the deities continued to lament over their burdensome daily duties, clamoring for a creation that would relieve their labor. In the middle of this divine discontent, Marduk proposed a solution, prompting him to consult with his father in his celestial domain. Enki, ever proud and impressed by his son's sagacity, welcomed him with open arms, ready to support his next grand initiative. "Father, to bring peace among the gods, I propose creating new life forms similar to us, but designed to be subordinate. They will serve, labor for us, and offer us their worship," proposed the king. The god of water approved of his son's innovative concept, impressed by how thoroughly the young deity had planned the creation process, addressing all necessary steps for establishing these new earthly inhabitants. The gods were then gathered at the king's abode to hear about this royal plan. "My goal is to forge beings who will undertake our duties, allowing the gods to relax and be free from the burdens of manual labor while receiving worship from these creations," he explained to his divine assembly. The proposal was well received by all since it meant they would be relieved from earthly tasks and would be venerated. However, Enki suggested that crafting these new servants would require a sacrifice from their ranks to provide the essential substance for their creation. Marduk found his father's idea logical and decided to follow it by targeting the leader of the insurgents. He led the deities to the secret location where Kingu and the remaining rebels were detained. With authority and fury in his voice, he demanded, "Who led this chaos and rebellion?" Terrified, the captives unanimously accused Kingu, who bravely confessed to his crimes. Marduk then removed him from his prison, brought him atop a mountain, and in a ceremonial act witnessed by the gods, he sacrificed Kingu, allowing his blood to scatter across the land. Afterward, the deities used Kingu's blood to shape mankind as instructed by Marduk. Following this, Marduk organized the gods, assigning them to oversee the heavens and the earth, to ensure the proper functioning of the universe and human life. Due to his actions and wisdom, the god earned extensive praise, solidifying his rule, for his creativity had elevated the divine realm through the advent of humanity. With creation moving forward, Marduk continued to endow humans with the means and talents necessary for their development and survival. He also ensured the gods remained vigilant over humanity, guiding their actions. In time, he established the stars, delineated the 12 months, and declared Babylon the divine center, a place to collect human offerings forever. As generations passed, Marduk, at the height of his reign, chose the exquisite goddess Serpanitu, symbolizing fertility and considered a maternal deity, as his partner. Together they had offspring, including the potent Nabu, deity of literacy. Their union was celebrated and deeply honored across major cities, with their marriage seen as a model of divine love. Consequently, each new year in Babylon, the renowned Akitu festival commemorated their union. It is told that on the 10th day of this festival, Marduk would return to the city under the cloak of night to honor his union with Serpanitu in grand temples constructed by mankind, his paramount achievement. If you found his story captivating, please like, subscribe, and share this video to delve deeper into ancient mythology.